What is going on, girl? It's your girl, British B, and I'm coming to you real quick with 6 things that I do to make sure that I am meal prepping successfully. Now, I would advise you to take note or just listen really, really attentively because I am about to drop jewels and gems that have helped me lose 11 pounds. Yes, I'm about to talk my ish in the last 3 to 4 weeks. It's going real good, especially since I'm doing my 75 mid challenge. Those details are on another video, but I will leave the details in my subscription box. Now, before I drop all these gems, I want to leave a reminder that if you feel like this information is vital and that it is helping you and you feel like you want to share it, please do. If you feel like this information is vital and you want to continue on this lifestyle with me, just hit the subscribe button and you're going to be getting these gems every week, okay? I'm aiming for twice a week, but once a week ain't bad either. Okay. So we're going to jump right in. I like to do a countdown because I feel like the number one tip is going to be exciting. And so is the number two tip. I am going to start at number 6. So I'm going to give you some time to get you a pen or even press record on your phone and get things done. You got your pen? You ready? Are you ready? Okay. Let's jump right in. Number 6. The sixth thing that I do when it comes to meal prepping is I make sure I portion and measure my food. Okay. Now, even though everything, if you're going to be doing healthy meals, you still want to make sure those healthy meals stay within your calorie deficit limit. My limit is 1700 and I want to say 1725 calories a day, and I want to make sure that I stay within those calories. So what I do is I measure my meals. I measure everything and I make sure that I portion them correctly. That way I'm not overeating healthy food as well. Because yes, even though these foods are healthy, you can still overeat these foods. Like some of the vegetables that I'm eating are carb heavy. Like a potato is a vegetable, is healthy, but it is full of lots of carbs, and carbs can break down into shit. Look, we're not gonna get into the details, but that's another video. Okay, that's another video. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are measuring your food and you're putting the right amount of food in each of your meals, okay? Especially if you are finding healthy meals on websites and recipes, because you have to look at the bottom and look into the nutritional details of those recipes. Sometimes those healthy recipes can easily be 500 calories in one serving, okay? So I'm tongue tied. I'm trying to get the information out so bad. A tip with even portioning out your healthy meals is check the nutritional value and then portion them accordingly. So even though if I am getting a healthy meatless pasta, sometimes with the cheese and with those ingredients, it can run up to 500 calories. So what I do is I break it down even more into a smaller portion with that. So for example, if I'm eating like this creamy kale pasta that I'm about to really, really indulge in next week, I will break that meal down into a smaller portion. That way, with it being a 526 calorie serving and it's only giving me 4 servings, I break that down into probably 6 servings or even 7 servings if I want to add like something healthy like a side salad on the side. You really have to make sure that you're measuring and portioning all of your things accordingly. Okay? Okay. Another thing that you want to do when you are trying to make sure that you are portioning your meal prep meals correctly is you want to utilize a calorie counter. What I do and the app that I use is called My Diet Net. I will drop that link in my description as well, and it will help you incorporate counting your calories in these recipes as well. Now, with this, you can actually input your own recipes and put them in the calorie counter, or if you get the premium, you could probably put the name of the recipe in and it will find it for you. So that's what you want to do. That is number 6 on the successful prep tips. Okay? My number 5 tip for successfully meal prepping is to freeze some of the meals that I prepare for later or for days when I'm feeling really, really lazy. Okay? Now, I do this because sometimes and ideally and realistically, you do not want to eat the same thing for 7 or 10 or 5 days in a row. So, what I do is I portion it out and then I freeze some for later. Most of the times, what I freeze for later will be breakfast meals, soups, also my little frozen like muffins, like if you're making those quiche breakfast muffins in the morning, like Starbucks or anything like that, you can freeze those types of things. Or even like your protein pancakes, you don't have to make those every day. As being a mom, I don't have time to make my meals every day for myself because I'm living for my children. So what I do is I try to freeze some meals and put those in the freezer for later. That way I can go to them. They're already portioned out and I can have those meals for later. That is actually the best tip that I have now. I also do those for like my vegan burgers that I make with my eggplant. Also, I do those for the breakfast muffins, like I just mentioned, my protein pancakes and soups as well. Broths, if you want to, you can freeze those, and those will still taste as good as they did if you just had made them that day. So, number 5 is to freeze some meals for later dates and make sure that you label them so they do have an expiration date on them. Okay, y'all? So label them and put those in the freezer for later. That way you can grab them on the go. Tip number 4 is I make big batches of things that I know I can eat on a day-to-day basis. The number one culprit for big batch items will be salads that do not include meat and also soups. A big batch to me will still be portioned out precisely, like I'll take a cup of it and put it on my plate, but I always make a big batch of salads like that include cabbage and broccoli and things like that that are low calorie but really healthy green items that will fit into my diet. And also, these are already put into my calorie counter app. That way I am not overeating. Okay? So it's not like it's going to take away from rule number 5, but yet it still will help you. So making big batches of salads, if you know you can eat a salad every day for 5 days in a row, then I will make a big batch of that versus trying to put all of these things in a plate by themselves separately, taking up the space that is in my refrigerator. Okay? So big batches of salads work for me. Really great for meal prep. I don't really feel like you can overeat lettuce because it actually has no calories in it at all. Things like lettuce, those really green leafy vegetables like kale, cabbage, and broccoli, I really feel like you cannot get enough of those. And cucumbers, because they're mostly like water based. If I'm, don't quote me, but that's what I keep seeing over and over and over and over in the healthy realm of food prep and eating correct. Okay, so we're on to number 3. Rule number 3: substitute techniques and food items so that they fit your lifestyle. There is nothing wrong with substituting a frozen vegetable versus a fresh vegetable. It will not take away from the flavor. I promise you. This will also come in handy when you are seeing recipes that are calling for you to do things like air fry or mostly air fry, because we are living in the air fry world. So all of these recipes that I'm seeing is usually talking about air fry. I do not have an air fryer. So what I use is I use my oven. I use my broiler. An air fryer, if you ever looked at it, is nothing but a heating lamp on top of the food. So sometimes you can broil the food or just bake it and make it do what it do. Okay? This is not about being aesthetically pleasing. This is about getting the results that you desire and getting a healthy relationship with your food. This is not about being cute for social media. This is about creating healthy meals that you can enjoy when you are being present in the moment. Okay, we are not on here trying to lose weight to impress other people. We are not on here cooking healthy meals to impress other people. We are on here trying to create a healthy lifestyle and get the life that we want through the relationship with healthy living, healthy lifestyle, and healthy eating. Okay, this is what we're doing. So if you need to substitute frozen broccoli for fresh broccoli, then do that. If you need to add frozen peas instead of fresh peas into a recipe that you want to try, then I would advise you to do that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with using canned goods. Okay, now also if you need to substitute a certain type of meat, if the dish calls for pork, see if you can substitute it for a tofu. See if you can substitute it for a mushroom or something like that. This day and age, there is so much information at our fingertips that there is no excuse to backpedal with your integrity just to follow something that's on a sheet of paper or on a recipe or in a book. Okay? So, that is rule number 3. That has helped me a lot, and I hope that it helps you as well. Tip number 2, try to use one ingredient in more than one meal. Okay, you want to cross use your ingredients. That way, you are reducing food waste and you are reducing the amount of money you'll be spending on groceries. Okay, there's nothing wrong with making sure that you utilize every piece of food that you have to make your meals for the week or for 5 days or for 10 days if you feel like you need to. This will help you figure out how to be one, creative, and also be frugal with your money. Okay, for example, I really like kale. I can eat kale greens every day of the week. So, what I'm doing this week or next week is I'll be using kale for a side dish like fried kale chips for a snack. And also, I'll be using it as an ingredient in my pastas. Okay, I'll also be using a lot of avocado for my avocado toast. So I will also be trying to incorporate that into my lunch meals where I use salmon and avocado and a cucumber salad as well. These things will be cross used. That way I'm not wasting them and they're not just sitting in my refrigerator idly being looked over as I'm food prepping. Okay. That is the number one thing that I like to do. I like to use everything that I have when it comes to meal prepping. Okay. Sometimes we get so caught up in trying to make meal after meal after meal after meal that we're just going into the grocery store all willy nilly and just using one ingredient for one meal. No, try to use that ingredient in more than one meal. That way you can figure out more creative ways to eat it and you're eating all of it. Okay. And you're not spending money frivolously on simple stuff. Okay. Because even though vegetables are healthy and they're not really that expensive, if you're going in there and you're buying 4, 5, 6 varieties of vegetables, that can easily add up to $75, $80, $90. And that's not even including tax, okay? Because sometimes we're not even weighing the stuff out, we're just throwing it in the bags. Another side tip would be to also weigh out your ingredients in the grocery store on those little scales that'll help you. That's a gem. That's like two a tip. Weigh out your foods, okay, at the grocery store and make sure that you're not getting over the amount of food that you will need to meal prep. Okay, y'all. So you want to cross use your vegetables and you also want to weigh them out in the store to make sure that you're not buying more than that is necessary. Okay, so easy peasy, beautiful. Cover girl. I got you. Now, this is my number one rule. Are you ready? Because I'm ready to give it to you. All right, here we go. The number one rule that I have that has helped me meal prep successfully is I audit my pantry and refrigerator before I go grocery shopping. And that's how I know what I will be eating for the next 5 to 7 days. Okay. I go in my refrigerator and I go in my pantry and see what I have. And then I find healthy ideas and healthy meals that I can use those ingredients with. Nothing beats shopping your pantry and your refrigerator first before going out and trying to meal prep. Okay? I have tons of salmon and chicken breasts in my refrigerator because it was on sale prior to my lifestyle change. Okay? So I have chicken quarters, I have salmon, I have canned salmon, I have turkey meat. I have all these things already in my refrigerator. So when I go to look for recipes online or in cookbooks, I try to find recipes that will fit these items. I am not going out just in these recipes, just looking like, oh, I want to eat this, I want to eat that. No, I am looking like, okay, I have potatoes, I have yams because I have toddlers and I make them their own food. So I have these things already on hand. So I Google or I go in recipes and I find recipes that call for chicken and yams and kale greens and Brussels sprouts and cabbage because I already have these things. These are staples in my home. Look for recipes that will help you make meals with the staples that you already have in your home. You will save so much time, you will save so much money that it's not even cute. It's sickening. It's going to be crazy, okay? And with that being said, I hope these tips have helped you a little bit more than where you were at yesterday with your meal prep. Now, drop me a line in my comments and let me know what tip helped you the most, and we can boost and we can brag, okay? Because baby, we almost there. We are like literally almost there when it comes to meal prep. Once you get the meal prepping down and you get this together, everything else will fall in place. Working out will fall in place because you're not going to be worried about overeating. Once you stay within your calorie necessities, the weight will just really melt off, okay? You got this. I got this. You got this. We here together. You my twin. I got you, girl. Okay? So, y'all stick with it. Thank you for joining me and be as great as you were yesterday.